We're talking about how you can move those thoughts into something that is tangible. So the way you do that is by understanding that you've already asked and that it is already vibrationally there, and that you have to find some way of creating a vibrational atmosphere, your point of attraction, that allows it to be realized by you. Sometimes as we project that thought to Esther, she starts to say, so that it can be revealed to you. But that's not quite accurate, because it's always being revealed to you. The path of least resistance is always being offered to you. But if you're in a vibrational state of being or a mindset where you can't see it, then you don't realize it. So the key to allowing all of this is to create an atmosphere that helps you to realize it. Stay with us. You're really going to like this, because it's moving beyond anything that we've talked about before relative to this. So rather than goal setting, rather than deciding what I want and going out there and finding some way of getting it, we want you to understand that the path is always unfolding beneath your feet. In other words, the path is coming to you. You just have to be in the mindset that you realize the path. Does that sort of make sense to you? You have to be in a place where you can realize it. And so these ideas that come to you, that's part of that realization. Even the visualization that comes to you, even the imagination that comes to you, it's part of the unfolding of it, you see. And so you're so used to the tangible. You want to see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it. And we want you to too. But we want you to understand that everything, before it is vibrationally observable through your physical senses, it must be vibrationally observable to you through your emotional senses. So you have to feel it into being. And if you feel angst about it or uneasiness about it or fear about it, then you're holding yourself in resistance, and you're not going to see the path that will lead you to what you want. The path that's lighting up for you is leading you away from what you want, you see. So that's why we say, if you can be more general about it, more general about what you want, talking about what you want and why you want it, causes you to create a better vibrational atmosphere, and then things occur to you. Don't you know it? Haven't you had the experience where a good idea just occurred to you? It felt like it came out of nowhere. Well, it didn't come out of nowhere. It came out of source energies, awareness of who you are and what you want. Let's make it more clear. Source knows where you stand in relationship to everything you want, and knows many, many paths to help you to get to where you want to be. But we want to say that different. Rather than saying to get you to where you want to be, what we want to say is for you to be in a vibrational mindset that allows you to be aware of the path that is beneath your feet. It's the realization of the ideas, you see. And so what you all have been calling visualization and imagination are part of the manifestations that we're talking about. We're going too fast for you. We're going to start in a different place. You're going to get this. It'll be easy for you to understand. So step one is contrast causes you to ask. You put stuff in your vortex that hasn't manifested yet. It's annoying to you because you want it. You can't spend it yet. You can't sleep with it yet. You can't have fun with it yet. And so it's over there. Blah, blah, blah. So I want what's in the vortex to come into my human experience. So now I'm preparing myself for the realization of it. So what are the first evidences of the manifestation? The first manifestation, and we want to call it a manifestation because it's visceral, you can feel it, is the emotion that you feel. So when you feel calm, when you feel sure, when you feel excited, when you feel eager, when you feel anticipation, when you feel even hopeful, when you feel confident, when you feel, those emotions are manifestations to let you know that you are in the vibrational vicinity of what you're asking for. And if you could maintain that, don't talk to others who can't see in your vortex, and don't beat the drum of what is. In other words, hold yourself in that expectant place as best you can. So those emotions are the first manifestations. Next manifestations are thoughts begin occurring to you. Ideas begin coming to you. Good ideas begin coming to you. Ideas that make you feel excited begin coming to you. Those are manifestations too. You actually see things in your mind's eye that begin coming to you. Your imagination kind of kicks into place. So can you feel the difference in what you were asking and in what we're telling you? Because for most humans who are so used to acting your way into what you want, pushing against the resistance that you've already set up. What we're encouraging you to do is to spend most of your time creating an environment that is conducive to you realizing, so that you are the receiver of the idea, so that you are the receiver of the vision, so that you are in the right place at the right time when somebody rendezvous with you. Now here's an important thing. Source knows what you're asking for and only has a vibration about what you are really asking for. So this is interesting. When you feel like you don't have enough money and it causes you just for a moment to send off a rocket, I would like more money, meaning I want more freedom, I want more experience. Your inner being becomes the essence of the freedom and the essence of the experience. Your inner being extracts from that vibrational contrasting experience what you do want, because that's what your inner being does. Your inner being never focuses on the drama or the trauma or the trouble or the lack, ever. So from your synthesizing of life, you are emitting pure desires that your inner being is recognizing, focusing on, and taking as inner being point of attraction. Now, do you accept there's you and your inner being? Do you accept that your inner being is offering a vibration and that law of attraction is responding to your inner being's vibration, just like law of attraction is responding to yours? So when you ask for more prosperity, your inner being immediately becomes the equivalent of more prosperity. But if you don't immediately become the equivalent of prosperity vibrationally, as in being optimistic or anticipation, then there's a vibrational difference between you and your inner being, and that's when you feel doubt or fear or worry or jealousy or anger or whatever those feelings around money often are. But you've got to find some way of syncing up with the way your inner being feels about this. And when you do, now there's no contradiction in your vibration. There's no tug of war going on. Now you and your powerful inner being are standing in the eye of the vortexual hurricane that law of attraction is causing around you, and more money is coming to you. But in your anticipation, positive anticipation, you're letting it in. You're not keeping it out. Now that's just the law-based explanation of how the money comes to you. Now another way that we are wanting to explain this to you is that when you feel good, you're in sync with your inner being. And when you're in sync with your inner being, that means you're in what we're calling the receptive mode of what your inner being has already amassed and attracted. So if you can accept the prosperity that your inner being already is, then you can be the receptive translator of that vibrational prosperity into the manifestation of what you want. This non-physical aspect of you that exists, that is attracting the things that you are asking for to this specific vibrational context that you now have ready access to, this is a reality. But because you can't translate it yet, then you often see absence of money rather than presence of money, even though there is a vibrational presence of money. How do I turn these thoughts to things? Because I can't spend the idea of money. I'm worried, I'm afraid. So what does that mean? So that means you're not looking at the money that's coming in the way that your inner being is looking at the money that's coming. Where does anything come from? Everything comes out of the vortex. You are a lovely bunch of people on this planet, and you are trucking no resources in from other planets. And yet your economy continues to expand. Where is it coming from? It's coming from life and from asking. So this is the part that we're really wanting you to hear. So can you accept at all that there is a vibrational version that you have not realized yet? If you accept that it's there, then this is the question that we want you to contemplate. If it exists in vibrational form, how does it become a reality? How does the idea of prosperity translate into something that is in my bank account? How do I turn those vibrations to those thoughts, to those things? How does that happen? Well, it happens by your practicing the thoughts that allow it to turn to those things, not practicing the opposite of those thoughts. When you say, I'm afraid there won't be enough, that's practicing the opposite of the thoughts. And we know, oh, it must drive you crazy. Abraham, if you were standing where I'm standing, look at me what I'm looking at, you'd feel the way I feel. And we say, we know that what you're living feels so real because what you are feeling is turning to things all the time. So if you don't feel like there's enough money, then that's the way it's turning out. And then you say, see, I was right. This worry was valid. This worry was accurate because I worried about this and this is the way that it is. See, I'm right. I'm right to worry. And we say, the universe will respond to the vibration that you emit. So you have to show yourself something different. So almost the first words that we spoke through Esther, all those many years ago, were, if you want something and believe it, then it is. In other words, if you have a desire and you're not contradicting it, when you say, I want it and, instead of I want it but, I want it and, I want it because, I want it and, that's so much different than I want it but, however. So as you bring all of that past reality, you see, you didn't come to face reality. Facing the reality that you've been living will deny the reality that you are creating. You didn't come to face reality. You came to create reality. You are the creator of your own experience. And you do it all day, every day, through the thoughts that you think, through the words that you speak. So what you think matters a lot. And you can't get away with negative commentary. You can't get away with those uncomfortable thoughts and statements and beliefs and allow what you really want to come into being. You were non-physical energy before you came into this body, but you still are, the largest part of you, non-physical energy. And so as you come into this body, oh, such a wonderful thing you've done. And you sift and sort and you create this vortex, which is your future manifestations. But also, once you launch a rocket of desire, everything changes. You are adding to the expansion of the universe with every exposure to life that you are living. So you are creating this vortex, and law of attraction and your inner being, source, what you want to call God, is focused upon your expanded ideas, your expanded notions, your expanded ideals, your expanded desires. And so once life causes you to ask for something, even if it's such a soft, gentle asking that it's imperceivable to you long term, your asking never stops being heard. And it becomes greater and greater and greater until it is almost tangible. You can almost see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it, but you can't, because it's still a vibrational version. And the thing that goes wrong, not wrong, yeah, wrong. No, not so. It's not wrong. Nothing's ever wrong. The thing that goes, no, it's not wrong. The thing that you do that prevents you from having all of the rightness that you want and deserve is that as you stand in vibrational relationship to your new desire, often because what you're observing doesn't show you what you want, in the absence of what you can see and hear and smell and taste and touch, you doubt. And when you doubt, you disallow your desire to turn into reality. And what we want you to understand is, if it is in your vortex, and it is, there's so much in there that would keep you busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. If it is in your vortex, and if you have found a moment here and a moment here and a moment here where you are not in disharmony with what's in your vortex, as your vortex becomes stronger and stronger by the non-physical focus upon it, and we want you to know there is non-physical focus upon it, once the idea comes to you, most of it is already done. Once the idea occurs to you, it is so close to physical fruition. If you would just stop doing that thing you do that doesn't let it become. And that thing you do is think in opposition to it by facing the reality where it isn't yet. And what we want you to understand is that there's this delicious process, delicious process of your thoughts becoming a thing. You get to watch the entire universe come into cooperation with you to accomplish anything that you desire. There is nothing that is off limits for you. If this time-space reality has the wherewithal to fill your vortex and become a dream or an idea or a desire within you, it is our absolute promise that this time-space reality has the wherewithal to deliver the goods. But you have to stay in harmony with your own desire.